Hello, welcome to my kitchen. So today I'm trying to boil rice. So I wanted to show you boiling rice using a Saladmaster saucepan. So let's turn this camera around and you can see. Okay, so this is the Saladmaster pot. It is quite small. I don't even know what the size is. I'm going to check it and let you know. Okay, so before I tell you the size of the pot, one of the things I wanted to mention was that it is made with a 316 titanium stainless steel, and it's energy efficient, which means that when I start cooking with this, within minutes it cooks, and it doesn't take me so much time. It saves me, because it cooks very quickly, it saves me a lot on gas and electricity, which I use for cooking. Another thing is that, what is it again that I need to mention? So it's a saucepan, or a skillet anyway, which you can use to make sauce and cook rice, potatoes, and so on. It is 9-inch, so it's basically that one is a 9-inch skillet, and it's got a cover. One of the things I love about this is that once you finish cooking, you can serve with the pot. It usually would have the handle, but I removed it. So let's get the handle. So where is the handle? I'm guessing this is the handle. Yeah, it is. It's a Saladmaster handle. So let me show you. So the handle, you press that down and you put it in. So press, put it in. I'm doing this with one hand. I'm constantly doing stuff in one hand. Anyway, so you see that you can lift that up with the handle, and then you can remove the handle. So one of the things is that when you put the handle in, you can serve with this pot. Just put it on the table. I would usually use a mat. So is this sort of mat, because it's made of the thing that you use to make corkscrews for drinks. So you just place that in, it absorbs the heat, and you put it on the dining table to serve your food, and then you can keep that this way. So if you notice, it stays. Also, you can remove that and put it in the oven to cook, but I'll recommend you take this off. This can be unscrewed, so you can screw it in. If you look at the quality, you don't see any screws there, but you can unscrew this and put it in the oven, and you can screw it back easily. So once you start cooking, we have this valve which starts making noise, which I'll show you when I start cooking. It just tells you that you're cooking over 85 degrees. So if it starts making noise, you're cooking over 85 degrees. So that means you need to turn down your heating. So I end up cooking at really very low heat, which I will also show you soon. And that saves me also on electricity and gas, because I'm cooking on very low heat. And because it cooks very quickly, again, I'm saving gas and electricity. Now this pot, I would use it and cook rice, which I'm going to be doing today. That's the rice that I'm going to be cooking today, easy cook rice. I would use it to cook rice, and it will be enough for 3 people. The reason that is enough for 3 people is because it keeps all the nutrients in the food. You don't lose the nutrients. It doesn't sterilize your food, because you're cooking below 86 degree temperature, so you have a lot of the nutrients that are still packed in your food, so that when you dish out a smaller amount, it allows you to have a smaller quantity of food, and then when you cook it, you're filled. You don't have your body sending signals to your brain telling you need more nutrients, which our body or our brain interprets as we need more food. So, and how do we get more nutrients into our body? By making you hungry, and you feel that you need to put more food into your body, then you put the food. But if you put the food that doesn't have the right nutrients, you're still gonna, at some point, even though you feel filled up, you still feel hungry, because your body is still sending the signal saying we need these specific nutrients. So that's one of the things I like about this pot, that I can cook a smaller quantity that will be enough and filling for 3 people, though for today I'm cooking for just 2, enough for just 2 people. So let's get on with cooking using this. Oh, another thing, the reason I mentioned what it is made of, which is a 316 titanium stainless steel. So the reason I mentioned that is the metal that is used in the body. So when somebody's got a broken bone or something, and you have to use a metal in the body, you don't use just any metal. It's important that it is a titanium that is used. The reason is because the titaniums do not react with the salt in the body. So our body is full of salt. So for instance, the other day in the video that I was doing, I was tearing up, and so and then I put Vicks Vapor Rub. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I put Vicks Vapor Rub under my eye because I was feeling very unwell. I've been sneezing a lot, and I was very cold because of my boiler that was spoiled. So I put that. So it's causing tears to fall, and when they are drying up, they dry up, and then you see all this crust. Those are the salt that is coming from our body. So our body is full of those salt, and if you put any sort of metal into the body, it's going to cause what is called rusting. It will react and cause rusting, which is not good for the body. So it's the same thing with the pots that we cook with. With the pots that we have stainless steel pots, but they're still reacting with the salt that we put in. So have you ever like cooked food, and the amount of salt you put today is not the same amount of salt you put yesterday, and it's not the same amount of salt you're going to put tomorrow? This is because your food is reacting with the metal and is causing you to feel like there isn't enough salt in the food. But the thing with this titanium pot is that whatever you put is what you get. So if you put food inside there, it does not take away the nutrient. The nutrients still remain in there. There's an experiment that I usually would do, and I do that with vegetables. So I'm going to show you this experiment. It shows you that the pot actually keeps the nutrient in the food. So that's one of the things I like about titanium pot. But because it's also made with titanium pot, when you do surgery, go and find out for anybody who's had done a surgery because they had a fracture or something, and they've put a tiny amount of that titanium metal would cost the person so much money in surgery. Now, so imagine now making a pot, a whole big pot with that metal. It means that the pot is going to be very expensive. So of course the Saladmaster pots are very expensive because of the pot, but it comes with a lifetime guarantee. So I'm going to see if I can find where it says that. It does come with a certificate that they send. I have it somewhere, I just don't know where I've put it. I thought it would be inside this, but it's not. I'm seeing some recipes on how to cook certain things, the temperature for cooking food, and so on. So I'm going to turn this camera around. This letter that comes in this is the a letter from the vice president of this company, and it says that this company is pleased to validate that the use of following alloys to manufacture the clad material used for this Saladmaster cookware. So it's telling you that it's 316 titanium bearing steel belt stainless steel for the inner cooking surface. So this surface that is used for that for cooking, that also comes in contact with your food, is made with this 316 titanium stainless steel. It provides a superior corrosion resistance, which compared to standard 18 to 8 stainless steel metals, which are the ones that we actually use with the pots that we cook with. So it also comes with a warranty. So as it tells you here, the properties. If you pause the screen, you might be able to read the rest of this. I don't want to read everything because this is not about ad for Saladmaster, but it does say that you've got a lifetime warranty for the pots, which makes a very good, yes, that's it there. It says you've got a lifetime warranty valid only with purchase from authorized Saladmaster dealers. So when you purchase this from an authorized Saladmaster, you get a lifetime warranty. So, and it's been in existence for over 70 years. So it says you're celebrating 70 years life-changing years. Now, I've had this pot for so long. God, I've had it since 2015, and you see what it looks like, you know. Now there's this which you can use to wash it and keep it really clean. So this is one that is still closed, and this one is an open one. So I advise, if you bought this, get one of these. It's very, very good. It helps you to clean up your pot and keep it in the condition that it was when you bought it. I cook a lot with this, and I barely use the handle. I don't actually use the handle, so hence the reason why it's in the drawer. I'm gonna put it right back now. Let's move on. So I'm gonna put this away, and then we get on with the cooking, so I can show you all the things that I want to show you. Okay, so let's move on with the cooking. So what do? I'm going to put some of this rice. This is Island Sun Easy Cook rice, which I'm going to be putting in here. So I've got a measuring cup which is inside this. So that's the measuring cup. So let's start putting some rice in here. It doesn't really matter if you measure it or not. It usually will say cook 2 cups of rice in there, but I'm very sure it wasn't this cup that it's talking about, but you slightly bigger cup, so you cook 2 big pots of rice. But when you're cooking rice, you have to be very careful, because some rice, they rise a lot and some don't rise that much. So if you're cooking, be careful what type of rice you're cooking, because if it's one that rises a lot, then you don't want to put too much rice in here. If it's one that doesn't rise that much, then it's fine. Put in a little bit more rice in here. So in this one, it doesn't rise that much, which means that it doesn't soak up too much water and rise too much. So this is 2 that I'm putting. And if you notice, I'm not leveling it. I'm just pouring it. This is from cooking, using this pot for years. So I'm used to whatever it is that what I need to be doing. And if you notice that this rice is almost finished, can you see where it is? It's almost finished. I need to go buy another one. So that tells you how many times that I've cooked this. So that's cup number 3 that I've put in there now. So I don't need to put any more in here. Now you'll be wondering, why am I cooking only 2 cups of rice for 2 people? Like I mentioned before, I have the nutrients stacked in there. So I actually would make this 3 cups of rice, and then divide it out between my son and myself, and still have extra rice remaining in this pot that we don't even finish. And no matter how tasty the sauce is that you're cooking the food in, and you're thinking, oh, I want to go eat some later, we never ever go back to eat more later, because we're saturated, we're filled up, and that's because we have all the nutrients remaining that came with each product still left in the food. Okay, so now the next thing that I need to do is, I'm gonna put this away. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is to put some water in it. So I'm going to take water and put it in the rice. Now the reason I'm using a cup is because I don't want water going on the rims of the pot, and that's very important, because once you cover it, you want it to seal, and once it's sealed up, it turns into a pressure cooker. Now, as you've seen that I've put these 2 cups of water in here, and I'm going to stir it, because most times when you put water into the rice, it gets compact, so the water doesn't reach everywhere in the rice. So that's why I'm stirring it. Now also, you can see the surface of the water, some of the starch that is being released. Now normally many years ago, I would actually wash this out. This is when I was cooking with my normal pots, which I've thrown all of them away. So the only thing that I still have is this stainless steel pressure cooker, but I don't even use it that much anyway. But I bought it just around the same time that I bought the Saladmaster set, and I just didn't want to throw it away. Anyway, so we've put that in. So now I'm gonna put it here. Now I'm going to show you. I need to turn this on. Let me move my stand out of the way. So I'm gonna turn this. That's the electricity, and this is for the gas. Now the electricity is for using that to ignite this, then the gas comes through. So I'm gonna put this on. This is that one, so I'm gonna turn this on. So put that, push this in to release the gas, as you can hear, and then turn that on. So can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to turn this up a bit, but when you're cooking with Saladmaster, you cook from medium to low. So that's low, and medium, I'm going to show you both. That's medium. As I'm going up, it goes high. So Saladmaster doesn't like, the pot doesn't like a lot of heat. So you start from medium. So it's now medium. Look at the amount of heat that I'm using, and I'll put the rest on. Then I'm going to cover it and leave it to start cooking. So I'm going to cook it for 5 minutes, exactly 5 minutes. I'm going to put a timer on and cook it for exactly 5 minutes. Once it's 5 minutes, I'm going to take it out, wash it out, put another water. So we'll get back to that soon. Okay, so while my rice is boiling, I need to cook the vegetable that we're going to eat it with. So this is mixed vegetable. And what does it contain? It contains peas, carrot, and sweet corn. Okay, let's look at the back. Now, let me unclip this. Sorry. So I'll clip this. I took this out of the freezer, so it's blocked as I put it in. So according to this, it says when you're cooking it from frozen, you cook it for 3 to 4 minutes. You add 400 grams of frozen mixed vegetables in boiling water, bring back to boil, cover and simmer as shown until tender. Then it says if you're steaming from frozen, bring steamer to the boil, add 240 grams of frozen mixed vegetables, steam as shown or until tender. Top up with water as necessary. Do not allow the steamer to boil dry. And it says if you're microwaving, so you microwave for 4 minutes, depending on what the watt for your microwave is. So it's either 4 minutes or 4 minutes 30 seconds. So it says place 80 grams of frozen mixed vegetables into a microwavable bowl and add 1 tablespoon of water. Cover and heat as shown. Stir halfway. Allow to stand for 1 minute before serving. So that's how you cook this using the pot. But today I'm not doing that. Again, that's a silver one that I bought. So I'm not cooking, I'm cooking it from frozen, yes, but I'm going to be using my saucepan, and this is a 1 quart saucepan, which is 900 mils pour. Okay, so the time that I bought it, this should be about 450-500 pounds. I'm very sure it's way more expensive now, but I bought it as a set. So that's the rest of the set over there, plus the one I'm cooking with, plus the bad boy. So anyway, how I'm going to be cooking, I'm going to show you how I cook the mixed vegetable using this 1 quart pour. So the first thing that I would usually do is put 2 spoons of water. So because I'm cooking it from frozen, I need to put a little bit of water in it. So I just put 1 spoon. 1 spoon is usually enough, but I don't want it to start, if I'm not paying attention, I don't want it to start burning at the bottom. So I'm putting 2 spoons of water. Now because this is frozen, that's why one spoon is usually fine. And because this is frozen, what happens is once you're cooking it, is the water that is in the vegetables start coming out, and that's the water from when you froze it, not the actual food itself. So I need to remove this. So when the water starts melting, you're gonna have this pot full of water. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this all out, just so I can show you that you can do it with just 1 spoon of water. I'm going to pour all this out, then I'm going to wipe the pot clean. This is my dryer for my pots when I finish washing them, but this is not the one I use for my Saladmaster pot. I just use this for the plates actually. So I use a microfiber one for the Saladmaster pot, and I use this one for the plates and spoon, but I'm just using this because it was the first thing that I just reached for. So I made a makeshift holder where I just placed this. Now the one that I use for the Saladmaster is this one, which is the microfiber ones, and they're way better for cleaning the pot, the Saladmaster pot. So anyway, so I've wiped this down. There's no water, as you can see. So let's start again. We're just going to use 1 spoon of water. So there's that, and then pour that in. So that's just 1 spoon of water. Then I'm going to put the vegetables in. For the vegetable is frozen, so that's why. I'll see if I can break it a bit. Usually I'll just cook it straight like that, but the reason I'm trying to break it is because I want to show you that you don't lose the nutrients. I want to do a little bit of experiment, so I need the space to put that in. So let me see what I can use. Now let's go back to the rice. Can you see that it's making a lot of noise? So I put that on to reduce the heat. That is telling me that this food is cooking at over 85 degrees now. So that's the heat there. So I'm gonna need to turn this heat. I've turned it to the lowest, but it's still showing me that it's still over 85. So I'm going to start go to the highest, so you can see that. So I'm turning it on the highest and then start reducing. So I'm going to pretend I'm turning it off completely. So I've mistakenly turned it off completely, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, just turn it off, not turning off completely, just reducing the heat, and keep going with reducing the heat. So can you see the heat now? There's barely anything there. And as soon as I've done that, that stopped making noise. Okay, so it's still under 5 minutes. I'm going to, and I told you that I was going to just boil this for 5 minutes, then rinse it out, and it's already under 5 minutes, so you can see it's already cooking that much. So let's go back to this. I need something to break this up. So I'm just going to use a hammer. This is very clean hammer. Okay, so use the hammer to break it up. I need to put a little bit more vegetable in here. Hopefully I'm going to be putting one that is broken up. Okay, so I did put a little bit more vegetable in here, and a little bit more vegetable. I'm trying to do all this with one hand, so bear with me. Okay, so that's the vegetable that is in there, just with 1 spoon of water. Now the next thing is I'm going to also boil 2 eggs in here. And usually when we boil egg, we use lots of water, just like when we're steaming the vegetable, you use lots of water. But what happens is that we lose all the nutrients from the vegetable into the water, and then we're just eating we throw away the water, which has all the nutrients, and we're just eating vegetable with barely any nutrient in it. So with this way, you don't lose your nutrients. Now I've got the egg. It is a fresh egg, free range egg, sorry. So I just rinse it off. Do not squeeze, because I made a mistake one time. I wasn't paying attention. I squeezed and I broke it. So you put one egg there. Get a second egg. Try to not put water inside this. So grab the second egg and then rinse it. Just gently rinse that and then put it in here. So that's it. This white, that's shell. So you can see from the numbering written on it, that's a shell. That's not the actual egg. Is not, so it's not been cooked yet. So that's that done. Moving on. Oh, look at that. My rice is almost, it's not even 5 minutes yet, and all the water is gone. So I'm going to turn it off and I'll come back and wash it and then put it right back. So let's get this sorted out first. Okay, so that's the vegetable and the egg in it, and I'm going to tie this off later when I pause the camera, because I'm not going to be able to tie this with one hand. So now the vegetable, I'm going to tie up egg also once I've paused the camera, so that I can put this away. I need two hands to do this. So I'm going to move on to this. Now the next thing that I wanted to do is to show you this experiment. Now, what's in our vegetables? Minerals. What is a salt? It's a mineral. So this is going to, I'm going to pretend this is the food, our food, the outside of it, and inside of it would be the minerals. So I've got my Saxo sea salt, which I'm going to pour a little bit of salt here. Now can you see the salt? Yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up. And then wrap it up. Bear with me, I'm using one hand to do this. And then wrap this up that way. This is so much fun. Not fun, ha ha ha, but fun. So I'm trying to, I've wrapped it up now, yeah? So I'm just going to place it on top there. It's a clean kitchen roll. Now, this is what I mean by the kitchen roll. Let's see, get this camera working properly now. Yeah, you can see that. So that's a kitchen roll, and I just took one of it, folded it, yeah, and then put the vegetable. So now this represents our food, and the salt in it represents the mineral in it. So the whole point is that when I finish cooking this, the salt should still remain in this tissue, to show you that when you finish cooking, it doesn't leak out. These minerals do not leak out. It stays in the food because of the temperature we are cooking it at, which is under 25-26 degrees centigrade. So I need to, now this vegetable is so cool, so that this is now frosted over and is a bit wet. So I'm trying to wipe it down. I'm going to cover it. Now let's go to the pot. So I'm going to be using this smallest one, show you how small it is compared to the other one. So that's the one I'm going to be using. So I need to put this on. That's the bottom. So turn this round. I need it on the lowest. So remember I said to you, with Saladmaster we cook from medium to low. So I'm gonna put it on the medium, and I'm gonna turn this on. It's on. Look at the heat. So I'm turning this down a bit more. And then take the pot with the egg and vegetable. I'm going to put this on the top here. And that's that. And then leave it to start cooking. So I'm gonna put it on a timer for, now usually if I was just cooking the vegetable, within 2 minutes I should be fine, because it says, you know, you should cook it for 4 minutes, about 4 minutes. But I'm going to cook it a little bit longer, and that's because I have the egg in it. So I'm going to put a timer for 5 minutes for this, and then I'm going to come back and wash this. But before I do that, I need to put all this away quickly, create some space for where I'm washing the rice. I need to put this on this stand. I don't know why I never use the stand. I bring them out and I still don't use it. I just use my hand and start filming. I think it's much easier for me, but because I need 2 hands now to wash the rice, of course I have to take it off. So if you see, there's no heat there because I've turned it off, but there's heat in this one. And you see this heat, that is the temperature. This is the dial for it. It's on almost very low. So as soon as it starts making noise to tell me that it's reached 85 degrees, I'm going to turn this to the lowest and then cook it the rest of the way. All right. Okay, so I'm back again. So I've taken this out from the stove and I need to wash this out because it's got all that on it and I want it clean. So I'm going to wash this out with water. So I'm still cooking with it, so I don't need to put any soap in it. Just gently washing it out, and you can see the washes are soaked easily. Get the sides off. Now, one of the things about this pot is that if cold water gets on it, it gets really cold, and if it's hot water that gets on it, it gets really hot. It retains temperature so well. So as you can see, it's washed out clean, and I didn't put any soap on it. But doesn't mean that when I finish cooking I'm not going to use soap to wash it. So now that's the amount of rice. Remember how much cups of rice I put in there is 3. So I'm going to put some cold water in here and start washing it. So I've got water in it. I'm going to use my spoon to break up the rice because I want every starch in the middle of it, any part of where the starch is, I need it to easily get rid of it. Now this is 3 cups, which I would normally do when my other son is in, but so out of habit I just put 3 cups, but I would usually just do 2 when it's just the 2 of us, or just 1 when it's just me at home. So I've broken it up, and then this is what I usually do when I'm washing the rice. So I pour the water, put it to the side, and then put the rice on, tilt it, and then let it start draining. So I need to reduce this water. I could use a bigger bowl to wash this, but laziness doesn't allow me. So again, I'm gonna pour some of this water out. And then turn this on. And if you see, I'm holding this with my hand. So what I usually would do is, that's why I don't ever use the handle. So what I usually would do is bring it out, run this handle on the cold water, run the other side of the handle in the cold water, and it's cold. And then I can just hold it with my hand, and so I just do it, tilt it, and start draining the really starchy water out. So you see, the starchy water is coming out. Again, tilt it to that side, and then start from this side. And I don't put too much water, because if I run too much water on this, all the rice will just pour down. And don't worry, I have this at the bottom of the sink, so you can see, so that it catches any loose rice that pours out. So again, I'm gonna tilt it, and then I start losing all the starchy water. Thank you. So that's it. And you don't really need to watch me do this. So I'm going to fast forward that section. Just gonna quickly wash the rice and then fast forward that section. Okay, so I've washed it until all the water is now clear. So So I've got really clear water now on this. So now the next thing that I need to do is I'm going to remove, can you see that how much water that is in this pot? I'm going to remove most of this water to cook with it. Now one of the things I like about this pot is that when you're tilting it, you don't actually lose the much of the rice that is in it. It's because of the way it's been built, so that it allows you pour out the water. Now since I've been pouring this out, this is just how much rice that I lost. Just two, like, yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6 grains of rice. That's what I've lost, and that's because of the quality of this, you know. So I've taken away most of the water, and you can see now there's barely any water in it. So now I'm going to use the barely little water in it and cook the rest of the rice in very low heat. Now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to bring this closer so you can see. Now if I do that, can you see the level of the rice? The level of the water. I still feel like it's a lot, so I'm going to remove some more. So let's go. So I'm just going to remove some more water. Now let's show you the level of the water again. So if you can see, that's the level of the water that I have there. It's not that much water in it. And that's the amount of water that I'm going to use to cook this rice. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this down. So this one I'm going to shake it bit and then wipe down the side with this. So I'm just wiping the side because I want a clean seal so that the pot turns straight into a pressure cooker when I'm cooking. And then I'm going to use this one, which I usually would use to clean my pot, and wipe down the cover, which is I've washed clean. So clean that. Can you see? Dries it, it absorbs the water and dries it, and it looks so clean. Then I'm gonna wipe the inside too. Okay, it's not that important to wipe the inside clean, but I'm just doing that. What is more important is this edges, because I want, when I cover this here, I want it, when I cover it, to get a proper seal. And once it's sealed, it turns this pot into a pressure cooker and cooks the food really quickly for me. So let's go back to this. So I'm gonna turn this around so you can see the cooker. Hopefully I'm gonna move it this way. So let's see, can you see the pot? I need lights on in my kitchen. All right, okay, so I'm going to turn this on again. This is the high heat. I need to turn it into the low heat, so you can see that it's on very low heat. And then I'm going to put the pot. I need to run my hand underneath, make sure there's no grain of rice there, because you know the last thing you want to do is cooking and you're smelling something burning. So that's that. Now that's my rice, the vegetables. So I'm going to take out the vegetable. Okay, so let's look at this. So that was making noise to tell me that it was on high. So that's it, all done. So the vegetable is cooked now, and the egg is also done. Now if you notice that I didn't put any water when I'm boiling this egg, oh dear, that has gone down. You don't want to be looking at that. This is what you want to look at. So I'll tighten this up so it's not falling down again. So now let's look at the vegetable that I mentioned before. I need to turn off my cooker. So this is the food that is supposed to represent the food, yeah? So let's open it up and see. Carefully open this up, and then open it up again, and then open. Now look at the salt. Can you see that? The salt is still remaining in the food, and this salt is a mineral, and it shows you that when you cook your food, this food that I've cooked now has still got all its minerals still intact. Yeah, so that's that. I'm going to be chucking this out, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is to show you the egg. The egg is cooked. What I need to do now is leave it to cool down, and then I'll crack it. So I'm going to grab this one egg, put it in the sink, grab this second egg, put it in the sink, and that's the vegetable. Now if you notice, look at that, didn't even burn once. Can you see the bottom of the pot? Oopsie daisy. Yeah, so can you see? Didn't burn. Okay. Now I made a small vegetable, and that's because I wanted to put the egg into it to fit in. You know, my son is not a big fan of vegetables, so most of this vegetable is actually going to be mine. So, but that's this one done. So I'm going to cover it. Now with another thing is, remember I mentioned that it retains whatever heat that's in there. So because of that, this stays quite hot till when it is that I want to dish it out to eat. Now the vegetable, the rice is now cooking, and once that's done, once that's done, I should be able to crack this egg then and serve the food so you can see what it is. Now for the sauce, it's already been prepared before. This is what I used to make the sauce. So I found this in Morrison, and I just thought it's used to cook meat, but I just thought, oh, could I make a sauce with it? I've never cooked with it before, and I decided to cook it just the same way I would make curry, but without making the curry paste. I pretended this was the actual curry paste, and all I just needed to do was put the chicken stock that I've cooked. So I parboiled the chicken and used the stock for that. And then I also then put a little bit of coconut cream. So I'll show you the coconut cream that I used. So that is the coconut cream that I used. It's called KTC Pure Creamed Coconut, and this is the inside, what it looks like from on the inside. So it's like that. It's quite solid. This is solid because I leave it in the fridge, and I use the hammer to break it when I need a piece, because it's really solid. So I just take a little piece, put it in there into the sauce and cook it, and it tastes really good. You really don't even need to put salt in it when you're cooking. It tastes very good. And if you want, you can put like some mixed vegetables and cut up very thin slices of mushroom and put it in. This one that I cooked this time around, I didn't put the vegetables because my son said nope, don't put any vegetables, so I didn't. So on the side, I'm going to plate the vegetable to eat with it. So that's it. So that's the sauce we're going to be eating this food with. So I'm going to come back when the rice is done and show you, when the rice is done, and show you the plating of the food. All right then, see you soon. Okay, so I've got this the experiment that I was making. So I'm gonna chuck it right in the bin. This stand doesn't want to stay still, so I'm just gonna hold it at another point to just put that in. So now one of the things I want to show you is that I bought this from Temu. Yeah, I think it's from Temu, either Temu or Shein that I bought it from. And the reason I bought this was I wanted a makeshift bag that I can put things in when I'm cooking, as opposed to constantly going straight to that and using the very big bin. So I can just use that quickly, just chuck the things that I need in there, tie it up, put it down the chute, and then that goes straight into the bin. Okay, so that's that. Now let's wipe this surface down, and I can crack the eggs so you can see what it looks like. So the vegetable and the rice, the vegetable and the egg were just done for about 5 minutes. I asked my son to set the timer for me because I wasn't able to set the time myself, being that I'm using this phone and the other phone is quite far away from me, so I asked my son to set it. So while I was washing the rice, he told me, oh, it's done. So I had to, but then I finished washing the rice then, so I could just take it out. So wash this out. I'm still cooking with this, but I need to rinse it out and just put it to the side. And then I'm going to get newspaper for the shells of the egg. So I'm going to get a piece of the newspaper. This is quite small. So I've got a newspaper. So I'm going to clip on the back. Let's do this. Let's look at this egg. I'm going to bend this over because the surface, I use the foam so it's not completely dry, so I'm just gonna, fold it. Now let's crack the egg. Okay, it's cooler now. So just okay, let's go. I'm not a big fan of taking shells off eggs, but let's do that and peel that off. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I think because the shells are white, it can be a bit difficult to see what I'm doing. But I've finished peeling this egg anyway. Thank you. So I'm just going to rinse it off and put it in this bowl. So that's the egg. Cooked without water and oil in 5 minutes. So let's do this one. Okay. Peel again. I find when you boil egg, there's a fine line between when it's completely cool and when it's hot for peeling it. Because if you peel it when it's completely cold, it's a nightmare to peel. When you try to peel it when it's very hot, it's also a nightmare to peel. So I usually would wait for a little bit, but before it gets completely cold, before I start peeling it. It's a little bit easier for me to peel it then. It just falls off so easily. So I think it is not cool enough yet. That's why I'm struggling. Usually if I wasn't filming, I would have left it a little bit before I start peeling it. So that's that. And also because this is the shell is white, it's quite a bit difficult for me to see with my 4 eyes. So I think I've got everything. And then let's rinse it out. And then that's the egg, the second egg. So I'm just going to pick up the shells that are here on the side where I was hitting it on the side of the sink, and then that which still has a little bit of the rice from when I washed it out before. So just put them in here, and then that's done. So I can just fold it and put it in the bin. So let's see, it's gone in the bin. Now the next thing is my egg slicer. I'm just gonna use this egg slicer and slice this egg and use it to garnish the food when I'm done. So I'm gonna come back. I need to sort out a few things, and then I'm going to show you the food and everything else. Yeah, before I go, let me quickly show you the rice. So that's the rice. You can look at here. Can you see that? the valve is gone off. This is telling me that the temperature is quite high, so I'm going to start turning this down. So now see where it is at the moment. I need to show you this knob as I'm showing you the heat so you can see. So what I want to do is to turn it to the lowest. You see the heat is increasing, but I'm trying to turn it off so that the temperature is quite low. So I don't know if you saw me turning this. So I'm still turning it. So can you see how low the heat is? It's extremely low. And what I've done is, if you can see that, so I'm trying to turn it off. This 0 shows that it's off, because if you see here 0, that's also 0, and then the rest is 0. So if I get it to 0, it's off. So I'm completely almost turning it off. So that's the heat that I'm cooking the rest of the food in. The food is almost done. I think it's almost done. So let me look at it. It's making noise again, that even at the very low heat that I've put it. Let me take it off and show you what the heat looks like. This is, yeah, it's hot, so I need a glove. So I'm gonna put this glove on and the second one on and move this so you can see what I mean. Look at that, there's barely any heat here. You can see I'm cooking it on barely no heat. You see that? And even with that very barely no heat, it's still making noise. I'm saying that is on 85. It's reached 85, so it's gone down now. But let's quickly look at the food. What I wanted to do was to get the meat, and what I wanted to do was to go and get the meat and the sauce and microwave to heat it up, but I can't even do that because this is making so much noise. So that's the rice. Let me turn this around a bit. That's the rice. So let's look at the amount of water. Yeah, it's done. Let me bring this closer. See, there's no water in it. It's actually the rice is dry and it's sticking to the bottom. And then if you look at the rice, tousled. I don't like rice that is sticky, so I try to cook with very little water. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off now because it's done. So it's completely done, so I've turned it off. So and then what I do is, once I finish cooking, it's very important that you fluff it. Just fluff the rice, and look at that, that's the 3 cups of rice, and the pot is filled up the pot. So you good thing I didn't put more than 3 cups. It would have been a nightmare to wash in and it would have been overflowing. So that's it. Oh dear, this just keeps coming down. I've tightened it, but for some reason it just keeps coming down. Anyway, so that's that fluffed, and then I'm going to cover it back up again. But let me pull this rice to the middle, away from the edges, and then I cover it. So now the next thing I need to do, that's the rice all done, really done. Rice, and I didn't put any salt in this rice, and the flavor of the rice is just coming through because of the pour. I didn't lose any of the flavor of the rice, so you know. I don't know why this is keep falling off, falling down. But anyway, I took some, I quickly went and took some chicken out. So that's some of the chicken that I made earlier. So I took some of it out, and then I brought out the remainder of the sauce. So what I'm going to do is microwave them, and that's the sauce we're going to be eating the food with. So I'm just going to put the sauce in first. Loosen the cover so that it doesn't burst open. Put the on, and then 2 minutes. Then after that, I'm going to do the chicken. My son and I are not a big fan of eating lots of chicken, unless it's KFC. But then recently, I'm not even a big fan of eating KFC. It's full of oil. you know. So let's plate this food. One of the other things that I wanted to do was go and set up the dining table, but I'm gonna have to ask my son to go do that. Well, set the table for me, please. Thank you. Set the table for me, please. Thank you. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna dish out is the vegetable. Let's tilt this down again, hoping that it does not completely go down. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, so vegetables. Yes, 1 spoon of it for my son because he's not a big fan of vegetables. Let's do this again. He's not such a big fan of vegetables. Then the most of it would be going to me. So if I really want to upset him, I just gonna pile a lot of vegetables in his plate. He will eat it, but he's not gonna be very happy about it. So most of the vegetable, that's why most of the vegetables just going to me. So that's that. And then look at the pour. Sorry, I didn't see the pour. So start putting water in it. Because when you dry, it makes it even harder to wash any kind of pot when the food is dried onto it. So looks like the sauce is done. Let's go. Look at it. Because the aroma in this kitchen is amazing. I just love that sauce that I showed you. That I used to make this. We've eaten most of it, so that's what is remaining. But that's the sauce that I'm talking about. It is so tasty. If you can find it anywhere, try it out. It is so good. I used 2 containers of it, and I went and bought more. I love this so much that I bought more. So I have 2, 4, and 6 still remaining, and I use 2 of each time I'm cooking. So turn this off. So that's the sauce is done. So now the chicken, this is a different curry that I made. This is an Chinese curry that I made, and this is another Asian, I don't know what country is it, but that's their own sauce. So I made curry with this, and I'm taking the chicken from this just so that I can have the flavor of this sauce and the sauce in my food. So I'm just gonna put this in the microwave. Carefully, I don't want to tip this over. I'm using one hand to do everything. Put that in, and then put the cover, microwave cover in, and then 2 minutes, and that should be hot enough. So now the next thing is I'm going to plate the rice. This just keeps coming down, and I've secured it. I don't know why it just keeps coming down. I suppose maybe that's why I like to use one hand to do everything. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here, move these to the side. Please put that in. I'm gonna quickly wipe down my stove so I don't forget, because I like my stove clean. And then at the same time, I'm gonna turn off, the electricity, which I turned off at the beginning of trying to cook this food. So that's right now, like the second side down. Okay. I'm using 2 hands. I'm going to show you what it looks like after I wiped it down. So over now, let me show you what I did. So I just wiped the surface of this clean, and I needed 2 hands because I needed to raise this up with 1 hand. Oops, this keeps falling down. Oh dear. So I have to lift this up with 1 hand and then wipe with the second hand. So I'm just gonna take this out, place this where they are meant to be. So that's done, and I'm gonna put this tape away, which was what I was using to measure the pot, and let's plate the rice. Hopefully this will allow me to place the rice. The chicken is done, so I'm just gonna get the chicken and put it in. So that's the chicken. I fixed this microwave, so I need to clean up this. This is the glass from the microwave. It's full of water, so I need to clean it out. And then I need to wipe the inside of the microwave quickly. Everything, I need to do everything done as I'm doing, because one of the things is once you settle to eat, you might relax, you don't want to do that anymore. You know, so I need to get as much done as possible. Don't worry, the food is still hot. The pot can be washed later. That just needed rinsing out. Alright, so that's the chicken that's been microwaved. I'm gonna plate that. So chicken, and then the sauce, which is the sauce, the Chinese curry sauce. I'm just gonna pour it on top of the chicken, and then pour the other one on top of this chicken. Okay, so that's that one done. Put it in the sink and put some cold water in it. I don't want it to stain too much, so that's why I'm going to put cold water instead of cold water. Now that's the rice. Let's plate the rice. So see how fluffy it is. And with Saladmaster pot, it's always better to use this sort of plasticky sort of spoons, because you don't want to scratch it. So that's my son's one. And then I'm gonna put food for myself. This rice is really delicious because it's still packed with the normal nutrients that comes with the rice, so I'm getting the flavor from that in there. So that's the rice. I've plated the rice. Remember, that's a 9-inch little pot, and that, look at the amount of rice still remaining. Told you still have a lot of rice. And I've put, this is a really huge plate that I'm putting food for my son in, and I still have so much rice remaining. I can bet you none of us are coming back to eat the rest of this rice today, because we're going to be full from this rice. Okay, so that's that one done. Take some of this water over. Now the next thing would be the garnish for the egg. The garnish with the egg. So now that's the, I need a plate to place this on top, and I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm using this. So just open it up, place the egg on the top of it, and then press this over and then push it down, and it slices the egg for me. So this is what it looks like. Now I can now place the egg on the food. So I'm gonna move this back so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna place the egg, and that's it from this. So because my son loves a lot of sauce on his food, so I don't want the eggs blocking the sauce for him. So now that's mine. So again, to do that, pull it open and then press it down. Okay, so my camera cut off. I got it coarse, so it cut off. So let's go on. So again, put in these. So I'm gonna put mine around my vegetables and not where the gonna be funny. So I'm lifting it up and placing it on the side here, so I can just take it from here. Okay, so that's it, done. Now next thing I need to do is to put this sauce that I just microwaved. So I'm gonna grab the sauce quickly. That's the sauce, and that's it. So I'm just gonna pour some of the sauce over this food. Again, I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. I didn't put any oil in this. The oil that you see here is the oil that comes from the sauce itself. And also, I forgot to tell you, because my son didn't want any vegetables put in it, sort of like green peppers, mushrooms, and so on. So what I did was I put some minced meat in it when I was cooking it. So that's that one. So just to show you the food. So that's the rice with the sauce and the chicken and vegetable, and then eggs that were cut with that, and that's the food. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. See you soon. Bye.